episode 03/17, 2020. This is interesting. There we go. Hey, everybody. So, I've decided to do a live episode. Oop, forgive me, I forgot to open my soda before I started. And talk about meal prepping that I've done for the next 2 weeks with everything that's going on. I thought I'm going to need to take some extra time to just get things prepped and ready to just kind of grab and go when I can. So that is what I've done. And so let me pull up and show you. So there's the menu. I don't know how well you'll be able to see all of that. But so yeah, I've done a 2 week menu. Actually, I've planned out the rest of the month. And on Sundays, I think the weekends I found I have a little bit more. Actually, before I jump in, Happy St. Patrick's Day. Only green I have is my can of soda. I hope everybody's doing well. I should add with that as well. I've been having, with these temperature changes, a lot of allergies. So, of course, my nose is all sniffly, and I've been getting a little phlegmy. So I've been like trying not to cough and freak the hell out of people. But I hope you all are doing well and you're practicing your social distancing. I think we'll get through this. I know I've talked a lot on here about anxiety and depression and my weight and all that stuff, and that's what this was kind of started for. I found, which surprised me, that I've been actually really calm lately. There's not a whole lot that I can control, and so I've just kind of letting it go and not freaking out over it because it's beyond my control. There's only so much that I can do, and I'm taking those steps. I'm doing the things that they're recommending that I do. So wash my hands. I'm trying not to touch my face, but I'm a toucher. But I do have, my sanitizers and all that. But yeah, I have not been freaking out as much or over planning and preparing and worrying about things down the road like I've talked about before. Which surprised me because I would think that I'd be freaking out all over the place. But I'm just kind of like, it is what it is. And I'm just going to take it. I can't really say a day at a time because I do have meals and things that I have to worry about for the family, so I'm taking it a week at a time and kind of like, here's what's going on this week, here's the things I need to worry about, kind of slipping into next week, but for the most part, I just kind of focus on the here and now and go from there, take each day as it comes. Okay, so with that in mind, sorry, it's the phlegm, I swear it's not cough, and I'm by myself right now. Let's talk about the 2 week menu prep. So I planned out this menu for the week, and I'll post these on the page as well. And then I've with this whole, so for the past, since what, January now, I've had to uh, drive my daughter to work, or not drive her, pick her up from work. She gets a ride from my mom to work because of the time frame. So I have to get up in the morning, drive Amy to work so I can have the car so that I can then go pick up my daughter and then I can come back and pick up Amy. Um, and that's like right at the times when I would normally be starting dinner. So my schedule's been kind of off. So I've been trying to shift to making things in the instant pot or the slow cooker. Um, but that hasn't really worked out well. I mean, it's worked out well. The quick cooker way better than the slow cooker because slow cooker meals kind of are more wet. You know what I mean? Quick cooker kind of is too, but there's ways around it. But the slow cooker ones, they're just not. I don't know. I either have to really think about it right away in the day, or then I forget about it in the afternoon, and then it's too late. The quick cooker, at least I can kind of set stuff that's frozen, whether I've remembered or not, and kind of go from there. So that's been wonderful. But I don't have a whole lot of recipes for those yet. Um, so I've decided for these next 2 weeks, I wanted to look at trying to prep meals because what ends up happening is either I have to at say 3 o'clock, I have to start prepping the dinner stuff in the quick cooker or whatever so that it will cook while I'm driving around so that when we just as we get back it's all done and we can start eating because we don't get back until like 5:30ish. Um, so I've been doing that in hopes um, that everything would be ready, and it's not always been. But then I run out of meals and I can't keep doing the same meals over and over again. We like variety. So then I've been trying to do um, so then some meals I would try to prep what I could beforehand, and then right when I'd get back, I would finish it up. But then it just felt like I don't know, just there was a disconnect between the two, and I would either forget ingredients or I would get back from all that driving, and then I'd be like, now I'm tired. I do not want to now sit in the kitchen and cook for another half an hour just to get dinner finished. So I looked this week. There was a couple of articles from the kitchen that I follow, and I share a lot of their articles on this page. There was quite a bit of them that talked about that did some meal prep, frozen meal preps kind of stuff. And I'm like, I never did go the freezing route. A lot of people do meal prep where they will prep everything, par cook it, par bake it, and then they'll prep it, or then they'll freeze it, and then when they need to, they'll just take it out. So I'm like, let me try some of these. So that's what I've tried to do this week. I found that I have more energy and more time on the weekends. So, and that's when I do my grocery shopping anyways. Excuse me. So I thought, okay, let's take Sunday, because we got groceries on Saturday evening. I did Instacart from Sam's and Club, or from Cub and Sam's Club. Cub came at like between 9 and 10 because I ordered a little late. I ordered at like 3 or 4, and so it said it was going to take 5 hours. Um, and after the fiasco of the weekend and things being sold out and things, I made the wife run over to our grocery store across the street to get some staples just in case. Our Sam's Club was not going to come until Monday. Surprisingly, they got everything on there but the chicken, even milk and stuff, and I was worried about that. Anyways, so I did a lot of my prepping on Sunday because I didn't have the groceries yet for some of it. So that's why you see a lot of things on this Sunday meal plan. So for Sunday, what I did is the meals are as follows. Sunday was roast chicken and asparagus with pan sauce, um, and then a pressure cooker raspberry upside down cake. Monday we had pesto tortellini pasta salad. Tonight we're gonna have freezer taco kits. Wednesday is gonna be frozen pizzas at home. Thursdays is the stuffed chicken breast with spinach and cheese. Fridays we're doing BLTs. Saturday is going to be pesto grilled cheese sandwiches. Sunday is going to be lemon raspberry cake. I'm trying to do a dessert every weekend or every Sunday, and then we've got at least for maybe a day, some day in the week, some leftovers. Monday is quick cooker meatloaf and mashed potatoes. Tuesday is crispy sheet pan gnocchi and veggies. Wednesday is sloppy joes in the stack cooker. Thursday's easiest stuffed shells. Friday is breaded chicken stack cooker, and Saturday egg roll in a bowl. And then Sunday there is simple mushroom penne with walnut pesto, instant pot strawberry cake. And then you can't see this, but then Monday on the 30th we're doing burgers and brats, and then Tuesday we're doing chicken breast sandwiches. So that's the week. But you'll notice some extra things on Sunday. On Sunday, I don't know if you can hear my oldest kitty. He's meowing around. Mega, we're right here. You're not alone, buddy. Um, we did a savory sweet potato and parmesan muffins that were freezerable, and freezer-friendly spinach feta breakfast wraps, and or just some regular egg, cheese, and sausage wraps for Amy and Riley in the mornings. So then Sunday, so I prepped those. The savory sweet potato and parmesan muffins. They had gotten me a white sweet potato. So I don't know how much that changed the flavor, but they were actually really good. They tasted just kind of like cheesy biscuits, and they puffed up kind of big. Super easy to make. I did like 3 batches, and I froze them in packs of 4, so that I could pull them out for dinner. Like I forgot last night, I can pull them out for dinner, just microwave them, and then we can have some nice hot biscuits to go with whatever we're eating. Today's freezer taco kit. So then I also cooked in the quick cooker. I did. God, just all this allergy crap is just driving me nuts. So in the quick cooker, I did frozen meat, 2 pounds of frozen ground turkey, so that we could do taco stuff. So then I will heat that up tonight, add in the taco seasoning, and it'll be ready to go. I could have did the taco seasoning with it, but I didn't have time. I just was really tired. I had a lot of other stuff to do. And then Wednesday we did, or then I also did the frozen pizzas, which was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. And I'm going to talk about those in a minute because it was actually kind of interesting to do. Um, so then sometime this week, I'm going to probably, well, maybe I'll do it on Friday. I will bake the bacon for the BLTs. I like to cook my bacon in the oven. So you just take an old cookie sheet, lay down some aluminum foil, put them out in strips, not really overlapping if you can help it. And then you bake them, I think, 20 minutes on 400. Maybe it's a little less, maybe 375. I'd have to check online again. Um, but then they crisp up. They don't get too crunchy and crispy, but they're not. I hate when they're kind of floppy and rubbery, and yeah, I like them to have a little bit of crunch. And I can get a whole bunch of them done instead of doing it on a pan and having it splatter everywhere. Works out pretty well. I don't know if I could do it in the quick cooker. I would assume probably not really because they're going to be the rubberiness that I don't like. They'd probably be cooked, but not to the crunchiness that I'd want. So, and then next Sunday I will do. I'm thinking of trying to make trying to move my mouse like you guys can see this other screen. Um, I'm going to try and make a quick cooker chicken noodle soup. With my diet, I need, or not my diet, with my new way of eating, I'm trying to eat more soups than I normally do because soups can be very filling, and they're lower. The calorie dense is a lot lower because they have more water in them. So I'm gonna try and make me some soups that are good that I might like for the week so that I can eat some of those for lunch and things. Um, and then I'm also probably going to prep the sloppy Joe mix. I will actually probably not do in the stack. Well, I probably will do it in the stack cooker or the quick cooker. But then I'll just freeze that for when we're ready for it. And then some of these chicken things, I'm going to see if I can. Normally, when we get our chicken, I have my mom separate it. They're really fat from Sam's Club. You can get like a package of chicken. Oh, I apologize. There's all this phlegm and junk. But from Sam's Club, you can get all this, a pack of chicken. I think it's like 8 chicken breasts, and they're fat. They are huge. And so she cuts them in half. So instead of getting like 8 out of a package, we will get 16. I had to do math. And then we divide them up into freezer bowls that we have in packs of 4. What I'm going to do, and I got some freezer bags actually this time around, Some of them I'm gonna freeze half plain, and then the other half, what I'd like to do when we get them, that's what they were out of at Sam's Club, is there are marinades that you can freeze with your chicken. And so I'm gonna make some marinades and freeze them up so that if for some odd reason um, what I have planned for the night just isn't gonna work, either I'm too exhausted, too tired, just not feeling like cooking really, or something's come up and we just need something quick, I could take those out, dump them in the quick cooker, add a little bit of chicken broth or whatever, and just go. And then they'd be cooked and they'd be flavored and whatever. So I'm gonna I think it just says to put them in the bag with the sauce and then freeze it that way. But I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to tenderize them a little bit first with my tenderizer, um, just to kind of open them up and get some puncture the not the skin, but get some punctures in there so that that marinade will kind of seep into it a little more, and then I'll freeze them that way. Um, and then we'll just I think I would have. I think thawing them would help them get more flavor, but half the time, let's say I'm not gonna have the time to do that. And then I'm gonna also try to make. Yeah, I'm gonna see what else of these like that easiest stuff shells. I believe is an item that I can make ahead and freeze in a pan. So I might do that, get it all prepped and ready to go in a pan and then freeze it. I might try to do the same thing with the egg roll in a bowl. I'm going to try and look at a lot of these, a lot of the recipes that I have and see, okay, can I freeze this? Can I make it ahead and freeze it? And that's what I think I'm going to try to do on my Sundays, Saturdays or Sundays, to really just kind of make the stuff ahead of time and freeze it so that all I have to do is just take it out and reheat it. I think that would be the easiest. So, okay, let's talk about. Oh, I did want to show you. I went to a party on Friday night, just a small gathering. There was only like one, two, three, four, 7 of us, and we made brie puffs. I did for the. It was a little. It was supposed to be a early St. Patrick's Day party, but we changed it to a apocalypse party. And so, Steve and Nicole show, we love brie, so I thought, in the heart of the show, let's make some Brie Bites. So these are just puff pastry. You get a package of puff pastry, and you cut them into 9 squares. And then you cut your brie into 1 inch chunks. And they said cranberry sauce, but I thought raspberry jam would be way better, and it was. So I did, and then raspberry, about a teaspoon of raspberry jam, and sprinkle some walnuts, and that's what you put in a muffin tin. Now they said to put it in a mini muffin tin, but that when I tried to put it in there and everything, like I'm like, these are puff pastry. They're going to puff, and they're going to push all that stuff out of the um, tin. At least with these, so I used a regular muffin pan, and at least with these, they puffed and kind of covered a little bit, so it worked, I think, a lot better. There was some seepage, and so you do have to quickly try to let them cool enough that you can kind of handle it, but you still need to try to get them out of there quickly before the jam cools too much. Otherwise, it sticks to the pan, and the puff pastry is so fragile that you can't just easily pop them out of there without like breaking through the puff. So I would kind of put I have a cake, Pampered Chef cake tester and separator thing. I'd put the separator part in where the jam was and kind of slide the whole puff pastry around and wiggle it out that way, and it worked pretty decently. So, and then I'd let them cool, but they were really yum. They were so good. And then I actually have way more brie left over, so this week I have to make I have some crescent rolls I'm going to do instead and use that up. But they were delish. Okay, and then let's show you the pizza. So I don't have all the toppings here, but to make a frozen pizza yourself, which I'd never thought to do myself, you get pizza dough, or you can make your own pizza dough. For the sake of saving me some time, I just decided to just get the pizza dough. I think next time I'll try to make some pizza dough myself and maybe make batches of it and just freeze it for when I need it. But then you let them thaw for about, what did they say, 4 hours. And then you just roll out the dough. You take it, the rolls they had, they said to divide them in half, and I had the bag that I got was the Rhodes pizza rolls or pizza dough, and you get three rolls, three like logs in there, and they said to divide them in half to make personal pan pizzas, but I divided them into thirds, so I got 9 pizzas out of them, 9 individuals. And you just roll them out, and then if it's onto parchment, and if they start to shrink back and kind of wrinkle up the parchment, let them rest for a little bit, and then roll them out again to the size you want, and that worked out really well. Then when you're ready, you take a pizza stone or cookie sheet or something. Pizza stone, they say, works way better because it holds the heat longer. You take a pizza stone and you put it in the oven. What I did is cold. They said preheat the oven to 450 and then put them in and then let them get to temperature. But I just said, why not? So I put the pizza stone in when the oven was cold, turned it up to 450. When it got up to 450, I gave it like another 10 minutes for that pizza stone to just kind of get up to that temperature a little more. Took that out. Actually, I had two in there. Took the first one out, put that on top of my stove, took the individual pizzas out on their parchment like you see here, and then I moved them, and I think I have a picture, onto the stone. And this is what's called parbaking. And so then you let them sit there and kind of bake a little bit um, for about 5 minutes. Um, and by the time the 5 minutes up, they should get a little puffy, and the top of them should feel dry. They almost had like you would think. The only way I can describe it is like they don't have like a little skin that kind of moved that you could easily break and see the dough in between. But yeah, you just want them dry on the top and puffy a little bit. And then you just take them off and put them on a cooling rack. And then I would take that stone, put that one in the oven, take the one that was out of the oven up because I have two, and then do the same thing with that one. And then each batch I would just switch stones until they were all cooked, all 9. And I put them on cooling racks until they cooled down. And then I pulled the parchment out, let them cool a little longer. Once they were totally cool, you put two on a cookie sheet, and then you have everybody do their toppings. So their sauce, their toppings, their cheese, whatever. And then you stick those uncovered in the freezer for 3 hours to freeze. Take them out of the freezer, and then you wrap them with plastic wrap, and then you wrap them with tin foil so that they don't get any freezer burn. And then they say they will last in the freezer for up to 3 months. So I'm going to have to make a lot more of these and have them on hand, and probably even make some bigger ones so that whenever we need to, I can just pull out some. What I like about this is I can get a freezer dough or a pizza dough recipe that's a lot healthier for me, that won't have as many calories, and then I could make like an all veggie pizza. So this will be really handy instead of going out and spending all that money on pizza, which frozen pizzas, good frozen pizzas, can be expensive. And if you're okay with eating mediocre frozen pizzas, I mean, usually those have a deal for like 10 for 10 or something, but it's still kind of expensive. So this is nice that I have more control over what kind of pizza that everybody can have their own, not this whole game. When you've got a family of 6 and you're like, okay, you like pepperoni, you only like pineapple. I like pepperoni and pineapple. You like sausage, you like deluxe, you want Alfredo, and you want Philly cheesesteak. I mean, how do you make a pizza, and try to limit it to like, we only really need 2 to 3 pizzas for this family. So how do you limit all that so that everybody gets what they want? So this was really nice. Um, so I think that's really it. I've been talking now for 22 minutes, so I think we're good. I will try to post these pictures of the menu up there for everybody, and I'll try to put links to the recipes. But enjoy, everybody. Stay safe, stay healthy, practice your social distancing and washing of your whole body. So enjoy your guys' week. Just keep calm, keep hoping things will get better. We'll get through this. Until next time.